Hi, my name is Rahul Ashiro. I am doing my presentation on culture shock. The people in my group are Jenna, Jace, and Stormy, and I believe they already all did your presentation, so I am the last person to do this presentation. And so, having said that, let's get right to it. Um, Having to deal and overcome to culture shock. The first thing is you got to be understanding. I know it's very difficult to coming into a new culture, everything is just so foreign to you. You're not used to it. So you have to understand whatever is going on. You have to quickly accept and adapt. That's the very next slide. Be open minded, have a positive attitude, explore the other culture, focus on the positivity, and keep an open mind. I know I say keep an open mind twice, but it's very, very crucial that you keep an open mind even coming to a new culture, because you have to be able to learn the new culture. You have to understand their lingo, their language, their culture, the way their music, everything about them, in order for you to be able to assimilate yourself into that culture. Um, the good and bad about culture shock. The pros is exposure to culture shock can help shape who you are as a person. The second one is you have the chance to expand your network around the world. Third one is you have the chance to have two different languages under your belt. In my situation, I'm from Nigeria, so I speak three different languages. I speak Yoruba, English, and a little bit of French. Having all that language gives you you have more connection to different people from around the world. Whoever speaks, like for example, speak French to a French person. I can speak English to whoever speaks English around the world, and Yoruba to my language, like my tribe, people who came from that region, and maybe they came to a different country or have that understanding of baseline of like, wow, you understand what's going on wherever we're going on. The cons, idolizing your home country. So, for example, maybe you like the food in your home country and you're struggling to enjoy the food in a new country. You're always comparing that, you're always comparing new things and all that. So that kind of gives you withdrawals, like, wow, I really do miss what I had before. And which brings us to our third point. You feel lonely and isolated, and that's a huge con in culture shock. You just feel like no one really truly understands you. No one really truly understands what you're going through and all that. But as we had in the last slide, keep an open mind and be positive, and then you see that a lot of things will start working its way, and you won't have to feel that way. You find more people who are going through the same thing as you are, and you won't have to feel so lonely. Personal experience is when I first came to America, I went to Ohio. I know everybody in the South, they say the food up north is very, very bland, and that's exactly what I went through. Coming from Nigeria, it's very similar to how Louisiana is, as in food wise, and Louisiana has a lot of African culture into it, so the food is very African based, and the history is very African in his way. So having all like that culture in Nigeria and coming over to America and going to Ohio was very, very difficult for me to enjoy the food, because I was eating hot dog. I hate hot dogs. I don't get it. It doesn't taste nice. I just don't like the way it feels in my mouth and all that. So like there wasn't seasoning. It was very difficult for me to transition from the food from where I was to where it became, where I went to. And the good thing I enjoyed about the culture shock was like the languages. When I was learning a new language, it came really easy for me. I was learning Spanish, and when I was in school in Ohio, so it became a very easy transition for me to be able to pick up a new language into what I already know. So yeah, I think that's all for my presentation.